I'm the only one that saw this, and I'm sharing it. Okay, everyone's been talking about the cyber taxi launch party. I'm going to do this quick video here. The Easter egg that everybody missed. Okay, if you recall that Elon Musk turned this back a month, held it back a month for a change to the front of the cyber taxi that he said was going to be pretty cool. They didn't say anything about it. I'm going to tell you right now, this is the Easter egg. The lasers on the front of the car are going to be used to notify the customers for arrival. They're probably going to be able to spell out names or whatever. But I think this is what Musk demanded the delay for. And nobody's talking about this, but I think this is the reason it was delayed. And I thought it was going to be some kind of display in the front. Let's see if we could play this. And this is the Musk getting in the let's just see if we can make this big. All right, there's Musk getting in. And then let's just try to move on here. There it is. I think it's coming up here. You're going to be able to see this. When's he do it? Come on now. Come on now. Wait a minute. This is actual footage. Excuse me. I think the car is nice. A little further on the presentation, there's Elon Musk actually praying in the car. There's the lasers. Let me stop it. You see that laser? Okay. I believe this is what Musk stopped the original start date of the cyber taxi for. Now, in this case, I think it might be providing a warning to maybe some of these bike riders. Go forward a little bit here. You see how it changes. Now it's behind a tree. Now coming out the other side there's a very good view of it. Perhaps they're projecting some kind of message on there or something, but that's definitely emanating from the front of the cybercab. No one's talking about this right here. And let me just play this a bit more. There it is. Now you can see it. Now it's lighting up the fog there. But again, I think these could be multi-purpose, but I think the main purpose is for letting people know their cybercab is here. And nobody's talking about this except me. All right, now let's see if we can get back to the presentation here. Okay. Now, here we go. All right, now, that is why Musk delayed the front of the car, changed to the front of the car. That was it. The people are overlooking that the AI, the event was also AI training for the robot black box AI, social training session. Even if they had mimicking human operators behind the scene. Now, some people are saying, "Oh well, you know, those are human voices." I don't know. You listen to some of those responses; they don't sound very human to me. And I think just the matter that the batteries lasted all night and that these things were out walking around weighing hundreds of pounds, they had minders, but they were amongst the crowd. And again, as I said, this is an opportunity to do some black box training on the Omnibot. Now, here's another one I think is true. You can see this tire treatment. Let me put this up here a little bit. You see this tire treatment they did, and they painted the sidewalls. I'm going to make a prediction here that they're going to use airless tires. on this car. They're going to keep it light. They're going to use airless tires. Why would you want tires that you had to check the tire pressure in? You're going to have to develop a whole new mechanism for that. I do believe that this mimics what it's going to look like when they have the airless tires on it. That is my prediction. And it would make perfect sense to never have to check the tire pressure on the tires of the Cybercab. You don't have it. All you do is change them once a year or whatever. So there's 3 Easter eggs. Now I got this down here: satisfies to pursue the minimum satisfactory condition or outcome. There was a medical emergency that stalled the start, for a long time. I don't know, 1 hour, 2 hours, and pushed it later and later, especially on the East Coast. And I think, as I have written here, that they made a decision to satisfy the presentation, and I think they omitted a lot of the data that was going to be in there, and they just pushed to the live action stuff because the crowd was waiting. I think the chief designer was there. I think they probably had technical presentations they were going to do as per usual. None of that. I think the medical emergency stalled it so long, and the prep was so intense for this. By the way, nothing went wrong with all this stuff going on. Anyway, there was no way they could do it again. And I'm sure Elon Musk just said, look, we're going to cut all the presentations. We're going to go right to the live demonstrations. And that's my opinion. Everyone's complaining about no hard data. I believe that's the reason why. I have down here, velocitize. Transitive verb, to cause automobile driver to misjudge or become unaware of the true speed or become drowsy as a result of prolonged traveling at high speed. We're all velocitized by, the rapid progress of Tesla, and now we have Waymo, and we're all blasé about all this stuff. It's like, we're used to things coming faster and faster. This was a massive, complex display of self-driving and the robo-taxi. And you had Model Ys and Model 3s there. Crowds of people, bicycles, parked cars, all kind of interference. Not one catastrophe. A robot didn't step on anybody. The robot didn't fall over. Robot power didn't fail. As I mentioned earlier, I've been listening to the robots talk. Maybe some of them are human. I gotta say, some of them definitely are not human, in my opinion. And I think that the verdict is out on this. We may never know, but I think some of those actually were autonomous. And again, the fact that they were walking among the crowd, they had minders, sure, but still, look at that. Who else is doing this? Nobody on the planet. And we are velocitized by the accelerated rate of change, and we're not giving the presentation its due. Rationality is limited when individuals make decisions. So basically it says when there's a lot of factors, you take whatever's easiest, whatever's satisfactory. You don't optimize because it's too hard to go over everything. You just so that's what we're experiencing here with this presentation by Tesla. Bounded rationality. People are not getting the robotaxi concept or the robot reality either. Well, walking in crowds, as I just said, walking in crowds of people and so forth. The robotaxi navigating this mess is massive. The user interface is running without glitches, of course, on a closed course, but to do otherwise wouldn't probably be legal. This is gigantic. And these were, actual conditions, and nothing went wrong, okay? So, again, I think people are just taking, I saw Marquis Brown, whatever his name is, he was complaining about the presentation. I'm thinking to myself, this guy's so blasé. Oh, well, I don't know, I'm thinking, what the hell's wrong with you? This is, nobody, who else is doing this? Nobody on the planet. And you're, again, bounded rationality. You want to take the easy explanation. I didn't like it. I don't want to think too hard about it, right? So, dog whistle politics, not being political here. Having studied Tesla for a while, Musk, he does things for hodlers. And I believe this was a dog whistle to hodlers. Buy the dip now. Okay? And I think that's what Musk is telling, the Tesla faithful. Okay? The hodlers. Okay. I know a little bit. I've studied some car companies for a while. It usually takes about 2 years to get a car to production and a year to ramp production. You go from prototype, A model, B model, then you crash test, then you homologate, and then you get certified, by the EPA and the National Highway Transportation Safety, blah, blah, blah. Then you start production. And then it takes a year to ramp production, right? I think Tesla can cut a year off of that. So 2 years total, depending on how far along they are now, maybe 18 months to start a production of the Cybercab, in my estimation, depending on where they are now. And they obviously have been working on it for a while. They've gone past the prototype. They've got working models now. Anyway, so we're looking at, and they've built, 20 of them. That's quite a few. So that means they're in pre-production, or they're hand building these things. I don't know. That's a lot of, you hand build 3 or 4 to build, I don't know, what was there, 20 there? Anyway, so my estimation is 1.5 years for the Cybercab, a battery electric vehicle, to come out. Because, Tesla, again, can accelerate this stuff. Now they're going to be going 48 volt, but they've got all this worked out with the Cybertruck. So I don't think Elon's timelines are that, we got 1.5 years. So, let's say, 26. Okay. And plus, Waymo's breaking ground now for Tesla on the full self-driving regulation and acceptance of driverless cars. They're doing they're skinning their knees, getting everything regulated, and that's going to make it easier for Tesla to bring the Cybercab in. Also, the macro environment sucks for bringing out a new car or a new service. And the Fed's wavering on rate cuts. You got to look at the macro. I mean, Stellantis going out of business, Ford almost going out of business. I mean, so many of these car companies, they may not make it at all. Okay, GM supposedly doing better than most, but they've totally scrapped their whole plan for BEVs using a uniform platform. They don't know what they're doing. Okay, so we got the only global producer of reliable BEVs is Tesla. And, the Chinese cars are lighting on fire a lot, and we're not seeing it. You see it in the Chinese press if you look at some of that. But anyway, so between Waymo, getting everybody used to this and getting the rules and laws in place and the macro economy, I think they're timing the Cybercab just about right. Now, here's the thing. The Cybercab app and ride-hailing does not have to wait for the Cybercab vehicle. Model 3, Y, and so forth, and especially the later model ones, only need the full self-driving software to be activated to work in the cyber taxi network. And they would run like Waymo with steering wheel and pedals in place, okay? So we don't have to wait for the cyber cab to come to use the network. It can be activated and with existing and new vehicles, and the Cybertruck has the system set in for wireless charging. Okay, that indicates that it may well be included in the cyber taxi fleet as well. But all we need is approval in California and Texas for full self-driving, and Musk feels that can happen by next year. So anybody that's thinking things can't, they're going to have to wait till the Cybercab launches, it goes into production. It doesn't have to, okay? And people are going to have fleets of these things, and there's already a company in San Diego that rents Teslas to drive to Las Vegas, okay? Manually drive with assisted full self-driving. Once the Tesla app comes in, I'm sure there'll be fleets of these things automatically driving to Las Vegas and back. Okay, they got a giant charging network right as you ramp up to leave for Las Vegas, and I'm sure that's what it's for. Now, and Musk says, he'd be surprised if full self-driving isn't ready by next year. So, I think, we could take him, I don't know, he just landed a rocket and caught it with chopsticks, so, go figure. But this is sooner than everyone thinks. It's a black box model. They aren't training it. The AI is training itself. And I did some videos on AI, and the learning curve on AI just accelerates through the roof at some point. And I think that's what Musk is counting on. And, as Musk said, these cars taught themselves how to read traffic signs with the AI. So again, the Cybertruck is fitted. It doesn't have the charging hardware, but it's all set up to have the charging hardware bolted onto it. The Cybertruck. So does that mean it will also be in the fleet? I think so. And is there going to be a van? Because, they had the Robovan, right, the giant thing, but they need like a tradesman size large work/delivery van, all right? Where would you put that body? You would put that body on the Cybertruck chassis. And I think with the setup for wireless charging, I think it's a no-brainer that they're going to announce that sooner or later. It's going to be a cyber delivery van or a cyber tradesman van. By the way, Ford electric vehicles, the only, I don't even know if it's profitable, but the only battery electric vehicle they have that's really selling is their battery electric commercial van for fleets. And I think they have a hybrid as well. But that is a good market. It's smaller than the consumer market, but certainly the cyber van would fit in there as well. But hey, if you have self-driving, you have a cyber van, and you're moving out of town, you load up the van, set the destination, and then you fly to a new place and wait for the truck to show up, right? Anyway, interesting, but I think, the Cybertruck plays into this as well. Now, I want to talk about this. The Robo-Taxi is a perfected Fiero. Now you look at this. This was the last Fiero made, and for those of you too young, the Fiero was a General Motors. It was the only mid-engine car General Motors built at the time. Of course, now they have the Corvette, and this was a great car, the widest, lowest car GM built. Four-wheel independent suspension, four-wheel disc brakes, mid-engine, 4951 weight distribution. And this car, conceptually in any case, was designed by John DeLorean. And